Hello, hello. Jeanne Marie Paynel here on a Friday morning, April 17th, live from San Diego, and wanting to check in with you to see how things are going. We are in our, what is it? I've honestly lost track of time. We are in our fifth, I think, week of stay at home quarantine due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And I promised you that I would be here every Friday to answer your parenting questions, your questions, your general question, and wanted to check in with you today. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Jeanne Marie Paynel. I am a parenting mentor, and I am determined to help parents let go of the overwhelm. Parenting tends to get a bad rap and that it's hard and that you have to feel frazzled and all of this. And I just believe that it can be different and that I'm here to support you and encourage you and give you the tools and strategies to let go of overwhelm and really parent with ease so that we can parent resilient, happy, creative, curious human beings. Because, I mean, look at what's happening. We need some, some good thinkers out of the box solution, really, creating some creative solution to be positive and such. So that's really what I'm all about, and I'm here to support you. So please let me know where you're tuning in from. Would love to know that. What your situation is. Share with us what your situation is during this quarantine. Depending on the countries here, even depending on the cities, the states that we are in the US, it's different. I'm in California. Our governor has issued stay-at-home orders for a few weeks now. Don't really know when those are going to be lifted and what that's going to look like. And that's going to be a whole other chapter in this, craziness is like, okay, so how do we process and go back into, the real life or whatever that might be. So I'm really convinced that this pandemic is changing our lives for forever. And I was trying to think the other day what as a parent, because I know that a lot of you have young children at home, and that this is really unprecedented and kind of this uncharted territory that we're navigating on. And I was trying to think of what I could relate it to when I had young children. And for me, I guess it was 9/11. I was living here in San Diego. My children were one and a half, and 5. Driving to, hello, Sarah. Wonderful to have you here. Let me know how you're doing and if you have any questions. Good to see you here. So yeah, I was trying to relate it in terms of, having young children around when events like this are going on. Because right now, I have a 19-year-old that came home from college, and I have a 23-year-old who's in another country, safe and such. But to be able to relate to what you're going through with young children, I actually remember 9/11. And 9/11 changed our world forever because of, what happened afterwards and everything, and just an awareness of, we were vulnerable, or that there's, things that happen in the world. And I remember, being really anxious and shielding my children from it. And I remember distinctively driving to kindergarten to drop off my daughter, and the radio was on and the news started, and I just turned it off. I was like, oh, cannot cannot hear this right now. And dropped off my daughter, dropped my son off at his daycare, And then I forget I had an appointment somewhere else. And that whole drive, I was listening and just in tears and shocked and just what crazy times. At the time, I had my brother and sister living in New York City. So, try to check up on them, which was really hard because all the lines were busy. Everybody was calling New York City. So that was the only thing yesterday that I was trying to think of how, dealing with kind of a turn in history, something that happened in our lives that will change forever. This is very, very different because of the participation that we're being asked to take, meaning stop going to work, work from home, work with your children, homeschool your children, all of that. So it's huge and it's lasting a long time. Oops, sorry. So it's just, hello, Pat. Good to see you. And glad you could join us. Thank you. And so, yes, that was, kind of how I could relate it being a parent now of older children. But I'm still here for you, parents of younger children. And I really want to encourage you to take one day at a time and to just be kind to yourself. This is tough. I mean, I'm having a hard time of just wondering what's going on and how are we going to get back to normal and all of that. So yes. So Sarah says it's nearly a month of quarantine for me. I'm starting to struggle with feeling anxious and stressed, and I won't want it to affect my toddler or husband. Any tips? Great question, Sarah. So this is, what I've been really saying all along that is really, really important is the self-care. So you being aware of the anxiety and the stress that is coming onto you. This is really important for you to say, hey, what do you need right now? Maybe look at yourself in the mirror and really with those eyes of love and kindness that you give to your child, just say, hey, Sarah, what do you need right now? Or, just plainly, your hand on your heart is, what do I need right now? And if that means stepping away from whatever you're doing and asking for support from, if there are other adults in the household, or when your child goes down for a nap, if it means taking a bubble bath at, any time of day, putting on some, mellow meditative music, whatever that might be. Do you hear the birds? That the birds are just beautiful singing today. Anyways, or for me, it's just been going for a walk. Actually, Wednesday, I went off for a walk. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I never do that. But, the streets are empty. I have a community college in my backyard that is usually, bustling with people. There was no one there. There was no one there. And it was just, and at the same time, that's what I needed to just go, go for a walk. If you do have, nature nearby, I actually ended up going, and sitting under a tree for just a bit because I needed to be by myself and just do nothing and meditate and think and such. So it's really about, oh my gosh, I feel the stress, I feel anxiety. I need to manage myself, and that's really the most important thing, is that self-care for you. So on the last live, last Friday, I was talking also about just daily check-ins, daily check-in with everybody that you are confined with. If you're confined by yourself, then it's a daily check-in with yourself. If you're with your children, your partners, your, siblings, whatever is going on, is really have a time to just come together and say, how's everybody doing? How are you doing? This is what I need this morning. For me, for example, I just checked in with everybody and I reminded that I'm doing a live at 10 o'clock. And, if we could not make noise in the back of me, and maybe breakfasts are taken care of and all of this, because as you can tell, I'm not in my office because we're sharing an office with my husband. So things have changed. So I'm just needing to check in. And so I'm inviting you to check in with those that are with you, but most importantly, check in with yourself. How am I doing? How am I feeling? What do I need? What would help me with the stress and anxiety? So one thing I will recommend, Sarah, is also there are some wonderful kind of meditation or visualizations that are can be very helpful. I saw one the other day that was helping us visualize being on a island on a beach, and that's something. Maybe that's all you need, is to just put that in your ears, sit quietly, and just let your mind drift away to a beautiful place. And that oftentimes just gives us invigoration. I will also recommend one thing that I have been doing is following Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey's 21-day meditation. It's called Hope in Uncertain Times. And honestly, I've just been listening to it before I get out of bed in the morning. So I get up, go to the bathroom, have a drink of water, get back in bed, put on my headphones, and I'm there for the 15, 20 minutes. That has been very helpful. So things like that. But it's really, again, I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it over and over again. Check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? This is very important. And like you say, because if we don't manage that stress and that anxiety, our children pick it up, and they're already picking it up, so maybe you need a hug from your child. Then that's what you need to ask for, right? So and be okay with sharing with your child what is going on. I have another Facebook group for the podcast I have called The Art of Parenting, and I was asking I was asking how this one mom who was home with 3 boys, how she was doing. And to me, it was beautiful. She said, well, at first we all cried together. So, like be okay with all these emotions that we're feeling. Our children sense us, see us, and I don't think we need to hide from them what we're feeling. I think we do need to protect them from the kind of the fear, based media and stories and all of that, because I do believe that, we are going to get through this. We've done hard things before. We're going to get through this. I'm so, amazed by people's love and kindness and curiosity and just being able to create. I mean, look at us. We've all kind of adapted very quickly to managing all of this. So I'm an optimist. I have great hope in humanity, and I know that good will come of this, and we will get through this. So now is just a time to manage ourselves and to have loving kindness to ourselves, right? Because we tend to be very, very aware and conscientious about how we react to other people, what we say to other people, but then the self-talk that goes on up there is not always all that kind. So my suggestion is to just be aware of that and such. So no, you don't sound like a broken record. Good. I need birds here. So if you need birds, you know what? There are some amazing audio sounds of nature on Spotify, on iTunes. There's just, so if that's what you need, it's I think that we need little tricks to just escape from it for a little bit so that we can nurture our heart. So, and then the other thing that I would say, and I know I know a little bit about you, so I know you know how to move. Put on some music and move, like move, work out, sweat, all of this. If any of you know Marie Forleo, she's a life coach and business coach, author of a great, great book called Everything is Figure Outable. On her Instagram, Marie Forleo, she's been doing like these self-care Saturdays, live, dancing, doing a workout, all of that. So, and that you can do with your child, like put on a good workout and do what you need to do. So hopefully that was all good suggestions that you'll look into. And so one thing I wanted to ask you, those of you who are live and those of you who will be watching this on the replay, I am putting together a care package. I want to create a care package for you. So tell me, what do you want in that care package? What would be helpful? What would be of support and such? I would love to get some feedback on that. So think of, a care package. It's going to have to be a digital care package, but that's what I'm working on, and I want to give you all the support that you need. So let me know. Pat has a question. For a 2 and 3-year-old girl, the mother worries that her daughter will become an aggressive child. Her daughter likes to play rough with her dinosaurs. She loves to fight them together, banging them, and only loves reading about dinosaur. Mom gets rid of those dinosaurs and offer her baby dolls and cars. I can feel the parent and understand children, but would love to hear your. So this to me is respecting the child and following the child. What is wrong with a child being fascinated with dinosaurs? There is nothing wrong. If they are playing rough with the dinosaur, they have probably seen or watched or been impressed with that, or their imagination lets them know that dinosaurs are big and scary and aggressive. It doesn't mean the child herself is aggressive. This is a fascination that she has right now. Let's learn about dinosaurs. Let's get some dinosaur books and learn about the different names. Young children have a fascination, I think, with dinosaurs, for one, because they're, these extraordinary big animals that don't live around anymore. And there's pros and cons of when to introduce the concept of dinosaurs. Some people say to wait till, after 5, 6, just because it is something that no longer exist, but that's an opinion. But so to me, they're fascinated because there are extraordinary, prehistoric animals, and also because they have fascinating names, and children love to repeat those names. So let's engage this child in learning the different aspects of dinosaurs, the different categories, the ones that fly, the ones that swim, the ones that are on Earth. What do they eat? What do they do? All of that. Let her become a dinosaur specialist at 3 years of age. That is fine for me. I don't think, we need to take those away. So when you start and say the child is aggressive, now if she's being aggressive to other people, to other children, to herself, to pets, yes, then there is an issue there, and there we need to set boundaries. But I would really kind of look at why the parent is anxious or thinks that it's going to make their child aggressive if they're just interested in dinosaurs. I would not take the dinosaurs away. I would have other options, because at some point the child is going to get bored with that and is going to want to discover something else. But for me, the way that it's stated there, I don't see it as an issue. So maybe I'm missing a little bit and there's maybe more details, but this is, let's respect children's interests, let's respect children's curiosity, and let's learn with them. And if that is something that is, fascinating her, then let's go down that curiosity rabbit hole and get some more books and and such. It will pass, right? The children have interest and are concentrated on something, and then that need is satisfied and they move on. So I wouldn't worry so much about it. All right. Okay. So, care package ideas. Okay, yes, I want care package ideas. What do you want? Because I've been collecting, all of these things that had been coming my way that I think would be very supportive for you, for your child, for your family. Some thoughts, but I thought, what is it that you're kind of feeling the need for more? Okay, so you agree with me, Pat. Good. Yes, it's as you and I know, it's about following the child. And who are we to say that, dinosaurs shouldn't be of interest to little girls? I think that's, we need to rethink that one, because this is a child who's has an interest. That's it. That's really it. All righty. So, so happy to have you all here with me. Again, if you are watching this on the replay, please let me know where you're calling in from and what your situation is these days. As I said, I'm here in San Diego in California, and I have lost track of time, to be perfectly honest, but I do think we are in our 5th or 6th week of quarantine. And I look forward to these times with you, because this is kind of my connection back into reality, is to actually, show up, put some lipstick on and show up here with you. So thank you for being here, because you're keeping me going. So, so yes, and I will see you all next Wednesday. Oh, and before I forget, those of you who might not know, I also have a podcast called The Art of Parenting. It comes out every Monday, and I mostly interview, experts in child development and parenting and such. And this past Monday, so episode 35, and I'll put the link in the comments, was an interview with Julie Bogart, who wrote Brave Learner, and she is an amazing human being. It was a lovely conversation, but it was all around homeschooling. And so she homeschooled her 5 children for 17 years, and has a lot of wisdom around it, and has, helped many, many parents all over the world homeschool. So I would encourage you to listen to that one. And oh, Sarah says, love the art of parenting. Thank you. It's been great to do, and it's actually helped me these few days, these past few weeks, to stay consistent and put an interview out and everything. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Well, thank you again all for being here. I will see you all right here next Friday for another Facebook Live to be of support to you as we navigate together this page in history. Alrighty, bye-bye for now.